Hello, welcome to my Banjo-Kazooie 80% no RBA tutorial. In this video we're going to go over some basic movement, Spiral Mountain, and Mumbo's Mountain. Two things I want to note right before we start. I'm going to assume you know about FFM, Furnace Fun Moves. If not, there's a link in the description to learn. In this category, we learn eggs in the FFM file. If you don't want to learn eggs in the FFM file, then I'll show a different route, just so you can have more egg leniency. Yeah. The other thing is that I'm running on NTSC version 1.0, which is the fastest, most optimal version for this game and category. To tell if you have 1.0, look at the back of your cartridge. Under the right bolt, there should be some characters indented. If there's only numbers, then it's 1.0. If it's numbers and a letter, then it's 1.1. PAL is 1.0, so it'll work just as well. Things will be slightly different, but it should work just fine. And Japanese is 1.1. So yeah, let's get started. So just press A to start. Hold start when the screen fades out. Hold down right, and slowly switch to left. Right. Then jump. Skip the text with L, R, and B. It doesn't have to be L, R, and B itself. It can be R, L, and B, or B, R, and L. Any order as long as it's all three buttons. Hold A to speed up that text. Press B. Skip this text. Roll. Flutter. Right before I continue, I just want to go over some of the basic moves we have. We just have jump. With A, big jump, hold A, whatever. Bear punch, just B. Gives you a little momentum. You can chain it into a backflip, which we don't use much in this category, but it can be used in other situations. You can also cancel out of your bear punch with a jump. Rolling. Side B. Jump into A is feathery flap. Jump B is rat-a-tat rap. Z plus A is backflip. One thing about backflip I want to mention. So if you want to roll or keep moving after a backflip, say you want to roll, you have to like wait till the animation is completely finished before you can start rolling. It's really slow. What you can do instead is, right when Banjo's feet touches the ground, you can flutter. There's a brief moment in time where you can flutter, but you can't roll. So that's what you should try to aim to do after backflips when you want to keep moving. Trying to like flutter. Works the same way with Talon Trot. You can't Talon Trot right away. And you can also beak barge out of a backflip like that. Like right when Banjo's feet touches the ground. There's also beak barge. Just tap B while holding Z to go a short distance and hold B to go a longer distance. And I think that's it. The fastest movement is beak barging actually, but it takes a long time to set up and a long time to cool down, so we can't use it for like consistent movement. So our fastest movement is rolling, but we slow down at the end of the roll, so we want to jump out of it, and we want to flutter to keep the momentum. If you chain it fast enough, you can do a flutter cancel like this, and it doesn't save that much time, it's just a little nice thing to do. Yeah, that's just our basic movement without Talon Trot. So here's the route. Follow this line all the way up to Spiral Mountain. In this tutorial, I'll be mentioning important cameras, but I won't be going over every single camera movement I do. Here's one of those instances where you want to flutter right after your backflip. Like this. Roll, flutter, roll, flutter, roll, flutter. Hug these walls as much as possible. Here we're going to have to do bottle skip. So, to do this trick, you want to sort of come around here after this corner. And then from here you want to jump sort of towards bottles first. And then you want to peck towards the bridge. It's not that difficult. You can get it within time. When you want to practice it, I'd suggest practicing it like while you're coming from here, so the camera's the same. It's like that. Sometimes you can fail it, it's not that big of a deal, it only saves like a few seconds. Sometimes that can happen, where you just don't get enough distance because you either messed up the jump or you pecked too late or something. You don't want to jump too high, otherwise bottle will trigger when you're like here. You don't want to jump too far here, otherwise you won't be able to make it here. try and look at what I did when I got it, and try and emulate it. Go flutter all the way into 20. So that's Spiral Mountain. Right before we enter, I just want to mention a quick thing. So when we enter, we're just gonna press start to skip the cutscene. Then, right when we enter, you're gonna roll flutter, and you want to skip the first text box during the roll. And it's important to do that because it saves a bit of time. Roll, skip the text box, flutter, roll, jump, flutter, jump, jump, jump. Skip this text. If you don't skip the grungy text, then you have to wait for it to go away before the Jiggy can start talking. Roll, flutter, oops, all the way. Don't worry about not being able to flutter cancel. It doesn't save that much time. As long as you take straight lines, that's all that matters. Jump, skip the text again, and press A. Skip this text, although that one doesn't really matter. Now we're gonna enter Mumbo's Mountain. First, I'll be showing the route that has eggs learned on the FFM file. Then, in another video, I'll show the route without eggs learned. Now we have all the moves. I want to quickly just go over some basic movement a bit more. Now that we have Talon Trot, let's go. With Talon Trot, this is our new fastest form of movement. When we jump in our Talon Trot, it accelerates us to our max speed. So we want to always jump to start out. But at the end of your slide, see how you're sliding? You lose a bit of speed. You want to keep jumping so you don't lose that speed. You want to jump to turn directions when you can. This is an important thing. Doing something like this, turn directions, is not good. This is the fastest because it keeps you at your top speed. Jumping up hills is much faster than walking up hills. Walking down hills is actually faster than jumping down hills. Sometimes it's not worth dropping your slide. So I'll sort of mention it when I get to it, but yeah. When you peck out of your Talon Trot, you lose a lot of momentum. So sometimes if you want to kill an enemy in the air, it's sometimes better to just peck without Talon Trot, because you have much more momentum. So this stops all your momentum. Now just a bit of swimming. Swimming, B to dive, hold B to just do these flaps, A is to just normal kick. Hold R all the time just so you can turn much better. Is me holding R, me not holding R. Really difficult without holding R. Most of the swimming in this game is just with the notches on the joystick. So it's not too hard, but it does take a bit of getting used to. Alright, so I'll just go back to the start and then we can start going over the route. So here you're just going to want to jump, slide down that first little bit. I like to zoom out here. If you want to copy my cameras, then go for it. I'll mention some important ones. Like right here, you want your camera to be like facing this way, sort of. So when you get this Jiggy, it's going to push you towards wherever the camera is because there's a text box. So you just do that. Hold R while this bottle text is there and skip it. Now you can go get music. Click this, jump. I like to skip the text during that cutscene. Not the cutscene, the quest. Okay, all these. Personally, I only get 4 here. I get this and then go counterclockwise, but as a beginner, you might want to get this one as well. This. Now, this egg right here. This egg can be in 2 different spots, kind of. It can be in a lot of different spots, but it can be either close to the token or far away. If it's close to the token like this, and you want to slide for it and peck onto the token, then just walk out, jump, flutter, and backflip. But if the egg is far away, and you want to slide for the token and peck back, and then jump, flutter, backflip. And just like that. So get this Jiggy, walk off and get into Talon Trot. Oops. Just like, then jump into Mumbo's hut. Right here, just try and take the path that I do. Don't wake up Mumbo's, it's faster to wake him up after. So jump over here, jump, peck, keep press. You're gonna roll. Hold on a second, I want to kill these guys because I want to explain just a small thing real quick. So, for this hut and a few other huts in this game, the proper way to break it without like pecking onto it is like, you notice when I jump up this hut, there's a small period of time after I overtake this corner where I'm in the air and I haven't landed on the hut, and that's where you want to beat blast that. Take a note, roll for the Spinjo, jump, flutter. 1, 2. Juju can be kind of hard. Takes some getting used to, because there's a lot of lag. Main thing to remember, you have to wait till he's all the way on the ground to shoot the next egg. And sometimes the lag can mess you up a bit. And you just want to shoot in the middle of his head. That's it. So I like to zoom in my camera here before I get the Jiggy. Now, just roll slightly left of down here. Jump, flutter. Oops. I like to have my camera like this, sort of positioned between the hut and bottles. Roll, do the same beak bust, get this, and roll for the Jiggy. Now we're gonna enter Ticker's Tower. So I'm gonna give like a sort of crash course on this explanation. So normally, I'm gonna kill this guy first just so he doesn't get in the way. Normally, if you just try to go up here, and just slides off. We have a glitch called Slope Abuse that allows us to stay on this indefinitely. But what happens here is that when Banjo's shadow, there's a shadow, when his shadow is on the slope, the timer starts ticking down. And when it reaches its max, then you slide off. But if Banjo's shadow goes, but like during that timer while it's ticking, you have like full control of Banjo still. And within that timer, if you get Banjo's shadow off the slope and onto a slope where you can normally stand on, like this, like a platform where you can normally stand on, then the timer will reset. Then it'll start ticking again once you go back on the slope. So we can abuse that, stay on these slopes indefinitely, forever. And yeah. This one in particular isn't a slope when you're in Talon Trot, it's only a slope when you're normal Banjo. So for this, I'm gonna show what I would really recommend learning. The fastest way would be to do Talon Trot for all 3 levels up here in this place. But I would recommend doing as a beginner doing the first level in Talon Trot, the second level up there without Talon Trot, and then the 3rd level in Talon Trot. So one thing you want to look at is when you jump on these slopes, excluding that one, I'll talk about that in a bit. You want to make sure to try and jump on like jump to the front lip of them. You don't want to jump from the sides of them like that. You want to try your best to jump from like there. Don't go from the sides. This one is okay to jump from the side because you can jump right away onto the next floor right after. Looks like that. Whoops. My setup from here starts from down left, up left, curve into the token, like that, and jump right when you hit this. You can do this without Talon Trot if you want. I wouldn't really recommend it. Whoops. Without Talon Trot, you can bear punch, or you can roll to just sort of help you have enough time. Yeah. You get all these. So now, doing this part is really difficult. It's the hardest level for sure. You mainly want to, like, after each slope, jump towards the middle of the room before you jump to the next platform. With Talon Trot, it's hard because you can't really change direction easy. So it looks like this. You have to do some sort of weird angles. I'll show it again. That was bad. That. Sort of like that. If you want to learn it in Talon Trot, best advice I can give, try and jump towards the middle of the room, then towards the front lips of these platforms, not the sides. Jumping onto the sides will mess you up. But without Talon Trot, it's easy. Jump on this. You can bear punch if you want. I don't think it's required to bear punch. Jump on this. And then, after each platform, jump towards the middle of the room. Sort of the middle, or like, in front of the next slope. And then flutter towards, like, the front lip of the slope. Flutter onto this. You can bear punch to extend the thing. Jump, flutter. Like that. So it looks like this. Jump, flutter, jump, flutter, jump, flutter in. Right? Now this, you want to get all these eggs, get in Talon Trot. You need all these eggs. This room is really simple. Just jump somewhere around here, it doesn't really matter. And jump up here. Just get your shadow off and on. Yep, it's really lenient. Then jump here. This isn't a slope, so it's fine. You don't have to panic when you're on here. Then yeah, that's it. Now, go here, jump, 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 peck here, then jump. Get this Jiggy. Now you're just gonna roll just a bit right of up. flutter, get in talent shot, keep jumping. I like to zoom out my camera here. Get all these eggs, you need them, and then peck on the Jiggy. Make sure to peck on the Jiggy almost always, because when you don't peck on a Jiggy, you have to do the animation of like getting out of talent shot. Here you want to try and jump right at the edge of this stone, this like little platform, so you can make it to this right away. You can also do it from here, isn't that bad? Yeah. I would recommend getting these notes with this camera, because it's less laggy and sets you up better for the notes coming up. From here, get all of these notes, all these. I like to turn my camera like this, so I can see where I'm going. Get these three, then jump. You wanna grab that first note, sort of from either the middle of the note or the bottom. You come up here, and then you go down, and you'll sort of like jump. So you'll probably end up jumping over a note accidentally. So just jump like here. Turn the camera twice, get all the notes. Oops. Try and make these notes as straight as possible. You're gonna have to curve a little bit. These, jump straight down, turn the camera twice. So this conga, it's pretty hard. What I did right there was like a 1 cycle. I wouldn't worry about trying to get a 1 cycle conga. That just means that he only shoots 2 oranges for the 2 pads, with no orange shots in between. To do it, you have to sort of shoot right before he throws the orange, right before you hear the sound. And honestly, that's just like, you have to get a good feeling for it. So what you should do is just move right when you hear him make the sound of throwing it. You jump on the tree. You want to jump flutter kind of low. If you jump too high, you'll get hit. So just jump flutter low. Roll, jump, flutter. Skip the text. Walk or roll or jump towards Chimpy. You want to be right beside him so you get this Jiggy right away. Now you're gonna get all these eggs around this platform. All these eggs. Here for Conga, you want to make sure to skip his first text before he shoots, before you shoot. You didn't make the text. Oh. I skipped the text already. But normally there would be a text that you have to skip before you shoot the first egg. So now he shot an egg. Sorry, not an egg, an orange, so I'm gonna shoot him again. Here, get into talent shot. Jump here, right before he throws the first egg. Sorry, I don't know why I keep saying that. So this jump is not straight right. If you go straight right, you'll end up like that. It's just a bit down of right. Not that difficult on the joystick, but it's not a notch either. Just like towards this. See how this line is sort of like that. Up here, get these. Now the setup for this, stand like in the middle of this, right here. Hold Z, hold straight left, and shoot 3 eggs while switching from left to sort of down left. So, then roll jump here. If you really need to, you can zoom in, then position Conga like that, then shoot. That's kind of slow. You'd be better off just shooting him the 3rd time from there. Roll, jump, flutter, B quest. Here you're gonna roll down left, but don't spam B. If you spam B, there's this one frame where that will make Banjo roll like this way, even though you're not holding that direction. So just wait until you can see Banjo, then roll. Right here, right after this Jiggy Jig, or well during it, hold the direction where you see the oranges. The camera can differ a bit sometimes, so it's not 100% super consistent. Just hold whichever direction you see the orange pad is in. And just hold it for like a full second. Stop. Wait till you hear him throw the orange. Then walk towards the top left of the orange pad. And just walk a bit past it. Now get into talent trot. Go all the way here. I like to zoom out here, personally. Hold R on this bridge. And we're gonna jump down left and then peck onto the Jinjo. But I want to say something first. We're gonna have to skip this Jinjo Jiggy Jig skip. The 10th Jiggy Jig, and we don't want to see the dance. So when we get this Jinjo, there's gonna be a Jiggy that's gonna fly all the way up. And then you want to jump with it into the water on its way down. Onto this side of the water. It's gonna take a little effort, a little practice to get used to the timing. It's not too difficult. Just want to try and jump on when it's on the way down, right before it hits you. Attack, walk under the middle, and jump into the water. Jump, flutter, dive. Aim for this corner here, then turn at these and go all the way up. Here, there's just a slope here, so you have to just be fast with your jump. That's my fault. I wasn't holding the joystick properly. Just be fast with your jump, and yeah. And we just leave Mumbo's Mountain, peck onto this. So, normally I'm gonna show the layers, the levels layer before the actual level. So normally I would show this part in the TDC video, but I'm gonna make an exception here, just because I want to show this Jiggy. So to do this Jiggy, we have to do another slope abuse. We backflip onto here, bear punch, jump off. You want to, after you jump off, you want to flutter back on. Make sure you flutter to change direction. Alright? So after that, you're gonna jump, flutter, and roll. So you just mash AAB. That's the inputs. So bear punch, back, flutter, AAB. Right? Then what you're gonna do, jump and hold A, just do a slightly bigger jump, and then beak bust, and then in your recoil, get the Jiggy. Like that. So that's the fastest way. I can show slightly easier ways. The next easiest way is to bear punch, jump, flutter, AAB, then ZA, the backflip, and then beak bust. That'll give you a bit of extra height. A slightly easier way to do both of those, instead of bear punching up here, you can roll. That'll give you a bit of extra height. Then you can jump back, flutter, AAB, jump, beak bust. You can do that for the backflip method too. So, now the easiest way, or the sort of the slowest way, to do two slope abuses, where you go off the mountain twice, then backflip. So it's basically the same. Jump here, roll, jump back, flutter back on, roll, jump back, flutter back on, roll again, and backflip. You wanna just make sure that you get your shadow off the mountain. It's kind of hard to see, but you should be able to get a feel for it with practice. Jump off, roll, backflip. Just like that. Alright, so I'll see you guys in the next video for TDC and TDC early. I'll be mentioning TDC early, and don't worry, you don't have to do it. I'll explain what to do if you don't do it. See ya.